So good morning students. So this is the continuation class for previous topic, that is immunodiffusion techniques, in which we already discussed about the passive immunodiffusion techniques. So in today's class we will discuss about immunoprecipitation reactions using electrophoresis, which is a active process which using electricity. So here, when large number of different antigens are present in the solution, it is difficult to separate the precipitation bands for each of the antigen and antibody reactions by the simple diffusion method. So in such a situation, a variation of the following methods used to identify the individual components, like immunoelectrophoresis, counter immunoelectrophoresis, electroimmunodiffusion, or rocket immunoelectrophoresis, and immunofixation electrophoresis. The first one, immunoelectrophoresis. So it is a combination of electrophoresis with immunodiffusion. So in this method, the individual components are first separated by electrophoresis in the gel, and an anti-serum prepared against the serum is allowed to diffuse towards the separated components, resulting in formation of precipitation bands. So this is the principle for immunoelectrophoresis. So here how it will done, here you can see. So this is the agarose slide, where agarose is applied on the glass slide, where in the agarose slide a well is cutted, then it is the components present in the serum or sample are separated by the electrophoresis technique. So here they are separated into albumin, alpha 1, alpha 2, beta, and globulins. Okay, then so through the cut, agar is filled with the antibody to serum components. So again after that, to the adjacent, a tuft or the cut will be made into the agarose gel. Then so anti-serum, which is specifically for the antibody antigens, are placed in the tuft. Then diffusion of antibodies will occur towards the separated components. So these are the antigens or proteins which are present in the agarose, which is separated. Then so these antibodies are migrated or diffusion towards the antigens, and there is a formation of precipitation bands where antibodies and serum components meet at the optimal proportions, which form in the lattice. So approximately 30 components can be detected in the human serum in this way. So the position of main immunoglobulin shown here in this last slide. So uses for immunoelectrophoresis are immunodeficiencies can be detected by this procedure. If there is no precipitation band is formed for a particular immunoglobulins. So overproduction of serum proteins can be identified, and deficiency in the complement can be also be detected, and identification of monoclonal proteins or like free kappa and lambda light chains of immunoglobulins, and also may be used to identify the urinary proteins. So testing of normal and abnormal proteins in the serum or in the urine, and purity, and you have to check the purity of antigen. So these are the applications or uses of the immunoelectrophoresis. And counter immunoelectrophoresis, in this procedure there are two parallel lines of wells are punched in the agar. So one row is filled with the antigen solution and opposite row is filled with the antibody solution. So if the solution were allowed to passively diffuse, the precipitation line would form between the opposite well in the 18 to 24 hours. Whereas, so this process accelerated by applying the voltage, current is applied here. So there is antigen antibody migration towards each other by the electrophoresis. Within 2 to 3 hours only, the precipitation will be occurred. So applications are used only when antigen antibody have opposite charges, like negative and positive charges. and qualitatively rapid technique and detection of anti-nuclear ribonuclear proteins and also detection of bacterial antigens in the blood, urine and cerebrospinal fluids. So here you can see this is the agar gel where antibody, this is the antibody well, here sample or antigen well. So after electrophoresis the voltage applied, so this migration of these occurred in the middle and there is a formation of precipitation band. Here to identify the anti-hemophilus influenza B in the upper wells and the cerebrospinal fluid containing the hemophilus influenza B in the lower wells. So other technique is rocket immunoelectrophoresis, also called as Laurel technique. Here one dimension electroimmunodiffusion. So it is based on the principle of radial diffusion. So the term rocket applies to visual appearance once the procedure is complete. And the procedure is a glass slide is covered with the buffered agar gel containing an antibody specific for antigen to be determined. Then wells are cut along the line towards one end of the plate and measured amount of standards and the sample for analysis are placed in this. And electrophoresis is carried out in a usual way in direction right angle to the line of wells. Next, the antigen driven into the gel and reacts with the antibody to produce the precipitate. The fixed antigen antibody to produce the conical shape which resembles the rocket. The height of the rocket is measured and the height of the rocket is directly proportional to the amount of antigen in the sample. Here you can see, so here there are different standards along with the patient sample is used, then electrophoresis is applied, electrophoresis is done, and after that antibodies is applied in the agar gel. Then there is a formation of rocket shaped precipitation. So then we have to quantify the patient sample or antigen in the patient sample, quantified by using the standards. The height of the standards will reflect the concentration. So by comparing with, we can compare the concentration of sample antigens. So we can put the graph also. And uses of rocket immunoelectrophoresis are, so rocket immunoelectrophoresis is more rapid than the radio immunodiffusion. So which is used to estimate the quantity of various immunoglobulins cases in the serum, whereas radio immunoassay just we can qualitatively we can identify. And assay of proteins, when concentration is too low to be detected by the nephelometry and too high for the radioimmunation diffusion techniques, like examples like alpha fetoproteins and immunoglobulins in the urine and spinal fluid and complement components in the body fluids. And applications are screening tool for the differentiation of more than 30 serum proteins and major classes of immunoglobulins, and used for detection of myelomas or malignant lymphomas, other lymphoproliferating disorders. The last technique in the electroimmunodiffusion techniques is based on the combined use of electrophoresis and immunoprecipitation principles. Here agarose or cellulose acetate used for the supporting medium. So in this, proteins are separated by the zone electrophoresis, and then strips of cellulose acetate or filter paper soaked in monospecific antibody are then laid over the zone occupied by the protein to be identified. Then after incubation at the room temperature for approximately 1 hour, the strips are removed from the plate. Next, we have to wash the strips. Then after washing, excess of proteins will be removed. The remaining precipitation bands is stained with the protein stains. Example like amidoblack. And applications of immunofixation electrophoresis are, its technique is more sensitive than the immunoelectrophoresis and used in the following. So identification of monoclonal and biclonal gammopathies, and identification of occult light chain and low levels of paraproteinemias. In the immunoelectrophoresis, so these low light chain and low levels of paraproteins are hidden in the beta globin region, where in the gamma globin region. So by using this technique, we can identify those also. And monitoring of paraproteinemias occurs and myelomas we can be identified. And identification of oligoclonal band in the cerebrospinal fluid. So these are the applications. In the next class, we will discuss about the ELISA and radio immunoassay. Okay. Thank you.